Hey guys, so as you can see we got the engine out of the car, been upgrading to a dry sump. Thought I'd do a little video to give a bit more insight of how our setup is and show it's not street car shit. So one of the things that stands out like testicles on a bull is our intake manifold. As you can see, it's stainless steel, fairly big. There's a mower in the way, so I'll jump around and try and get some shots of the runners. You can see the runners in there. The old boy made that back in the early 90s when we, late 90s when we first kicked off using the Vg30. It's actually made out of electrical cabinet door acquired from work one day. You can see also this coil for every cylinder, just MSD dumb coils. So we do run a CDI ignition. This little duvet here is a oil pressure regulator for the turbos. So it only supplies turbos with 40 psi maximum pressure. Being a ball bearing turbo, it is not required high pressure, and we don't have to run the restrictors in it using that regulator. And as you can see, this is one of the turbos. It's a Pro Boost 3582 GTX, but it has a custom compressor wheel on it, which actually instead of being at 82 measures about 86. So got the little surge holes and all that sort of shit in it. So it's actually a Garrett ball bearing core with Chinese housings. So instead of paying a couple $100 for a set of housings, they're a lot cheaper. And you can see the compressor wheel, run a 0.63 housing on the rear. Just some Comp 40 Turbo Smart wastegates. As you can see, it's plumbed to top and bottom, and there's also a position sensor. I love data. And my radio, that's our exhaust manifolds. There's EGTs each cylinder, as you would expect on a race vehicle. Go down a little bit further, you can see this is the adapter we've got on where the oil filter originally was. One of the ports has got to be blocked off because we're dry sump now, and you can see the dry sump pan there. I'll swing around, get a bit better view. You can see you got outlets on the bottom of the pan, a dry sump pump there. It's a 4-stage, so you got 3 scavenge stages that go to the pan, and then 1 pressure. And off the back we've got the fuel pump. It's just a 5 gallon a minute at 100 psi fuel pump. It's enough for the injectors we run at the moment, and so the exhaust manifold on the other side is pretty much the same. One of the most important things, you'll see that cast number. Some of you know what that is, some won't. It's not a 300ZX block. It's yeah, a bit earlier. Cams are all locked. They're a custom cam. They're only small. They similar size to the JWT 400s. We do plan to go custom cams in the future because we do rev our engines. This engine on the dyno did make 1,000 horsepower at the hubs. Just under 38 pound of boost. 8,500 RPM and still wants more RPM. So cams will help us. The oil pump here has no gears in it, obviously dry sump, so cut the end off, blocked it off. It's just a dummy pump pretty much to seal the engine. I don't know if you can see in there, there's no light, but for injectors, I really like the Siemens injectors. So there's a set of Siemens 24L30s each cylinder, plus another 2. There's Indy Blues, which are a 1600cc Bosch on the intakes for cooling, plus we ran out of fuel with the Siemens, so adds a bit more fuel to the mixture. It's about most of the shit on the front. Come around the back, you can see there's a adapter on the crank, because we actually run a Chev flex plate for our power glide transmission. It's just a basic overview of the engine transmission. Chassis over here. You can see a dry sump tank, radiator, full size radiator. That block is not filled at all. It's just full water. Electric fuel pump. The 2 CDI ignition boxes. That's the back of the car stuff. And come down, it's got a race pack dash. I use race pack logging, but I need to get rid of it because the ECU I run is more than capable of handling all that. I had the race pack logging from when I used to run a Howtech, and it was rubbish. The Howtech was, and the M-Trons just shits all over that. Oh well, I hope this is a bit of insight of our setup.